Hey everybody, Jim and Joshua here with a look at the Super Bowl spots for Amazing Spider-Man 2. We've kind of cobbled together a couple of things because we've seen a lot of this footage before, but it does give us an extended look at basically Max Dillon here, who becomes Electro. Joshua will notice that there's actually almost 400 testing labs at Oscorp.
Yeah, we're going to see a Sinister Six. Maybe it's going to be the Sinister 400.
Yeah, we'll notice, there's the electric bolt there that basically tips the hand to how he becomes Electro. And then a couple of other little interesting little clusters there. That one on the bottom right above electrical engineering, that kind of looks like the chamber where we saw all the different, like the vulture stuff and everything. Kind of
little
hidden.
six dots there.
Yep. Now, Max Dillon basically becomes almost obsessed with Spider-Man, or does become obsessed with Spider-Man. There we get, of course, Gwen Stacy. We'll have more to say about her in a minute. But let's go back here to Max Dillon, the sad sack of Oscorp. Carrying around happy birthday, Max.
Oh, happy birthday.
It's probably a lonely birthday. Probably does that so people will just interact with him. People like Gwen Stacy. And then let's just go back here a second. We're going to see she's staring. Oh, that's my boyfriend on TV. And then we'll see Times Square. Times Square really takes a beating in this spot. But that's probably from his battle with the Rhino. Now let's just kind of take a look-see around the room here. He becomes obsessed with Spidey. You know what this reminds me of, though? Batman Forever, and the sort of the way that Riddler became obsessed with Bruce Wayne and then went bad. And then you were thinking
of Killian from Iron Man 3, who had the same haircut as Electro here.
the bad comb over.
Yeah.
Of course, the number one cause of villainy, lab accidents. Here we get a first good look at Electro in action. What's different about this is that we now understand that he essentially needs power to survive, that he, basically his batteries are running low. And we see here that Spider-Man recognizes Max, even though he can't remember his name, which, of course, big blow to his ego because, hey, we thought we were eyes and ears.
Yeah. And I think if, this guy is about to destroy Times Square, Spider-Man would be a little nicer to him.
Yeah, Spidey is a real kind of jerk in this, but we're going to see as this goes on, he might get his comeuppance. Coming up here, let's take a look. Well, that's a great shot at the Goblin. Not exactly what it was going to land on now.
Looking super evil. But let's back up a sec.
Let's take a look-see here.
And here's the first time we've seen him with Harry Osborn, who's, of course, the Green Goblin, and he's got that little meter on the side of his head.
So it's basically, it looks like Harry Osborn has taken him in. They're going to kind of make this Faustian bargain here. But that meter is interesting because it shows that, when his power is running low, and as we saw earlier, he needs that in order to survive. So I probably get a pretty good look at... good idea, I should say, of how he's going to end up falling in battle eventually. What's interesting here is that he has the power to basically teleport. So let's watch this. Basically, electricity traveling like a lightning bolt, kind of just popping up different places.
It'll be like fighting Nightcrawler, who can, throw lightning bolts.
Now let's just go back here for a second. A nice little shot at the Rhino suit, I believe. Yep. And now we know that from the Daily Bugle Tumblr that Russian criminals, namely Rhino, were trying to get their hands on some of these kind of super weapons. And so that explains how Rhino becomes Rhino.
Yeah, you can see that Russian writing there on the arm plate.
True. Now here, Peter Parker bawling his eyes out. We're thinking, and if you see just at the bottom of the frame, does kind of look like either a blonde head or maybe part of a grayish-whitish coat, which, as we continue on, we think it's the end of Gwen Stacy. As we know from the comics, she does die. Let's see here. We're coming up. She is falling from a great height. Notice the outfit, purpley dress, that coat. Joshua, you noticed something very...
Yeah, that's that's the outfit she wears when she dies in the comic books.
Yep, it's famous from being on the cover. She's even got the kind of the retro look there with the boots. Now, clearly the fall here doesn't kill her. The glass doesn't kill her. She's still alive because as we scroll down, Spidey, they do get separated. Spidey has to save her. But the look on her face tells us that, coming up right here, she knows it's the end. So does she let go? Is she taken out by Goblin somehow?
Well, yeah. How did she get tossed there in the first place? I'm assuming the Goblin's still in the air. He might be behind Spidey, hit Spidey again. She goes down. Anything could happen.
Because let's scroll back here. We've got the Goblin shows up here in Oscorp. So we think it's how he basically snatches Gwen. Electro is probably out of the equation at this point. So it's come down to Harry and Peter, and she basically is probably going to die at Oscorp because if you notice those pylons in the back, you could also see them from the bird's eye view when she's falling through the glass. So we think that's the end of Gwen Stacy, and thanks for watching our little cobbled together Spider-Man Super Bowl Rewind Theater.